Meanwhile, the nor'easter adds insult to injury to more than 500,000 people still without power in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy. It's producing snow, rain, and high winds in New York and New Jersey and parts of the mid-Atlantic. Now, WSLS-10's Lindsay Ward was in that region to see just how help from our area is making a difference because of Sandy. But Lindsay, I'm sure the Rockaway area saw a lot of devastation in the wake of Sandy and is probably looking for more from this latest storm.
Well, absolutely, Karen. The folks who live in the Rockaway area of Queens, well, they're still without power. In fact, some local reports in New York say it could be weeks before the lights are turned back on. The leaders of a local church in that area are putting their own needs aside, taking donations sent from our area and giving them to those in desperate need of help. Members of Hope NYC Church in Queens are moving donated supplies out of their warehouse to load up in the back of a van. Since Sandy ravished the area around the church, they've started a 24-hour operation of drop-offs and deliveries. Sharon Ramkelawan is the church pastor.
There are people who need just basic things, and it's right down the street. It's not a world away. It's in our city, you know?
Yeah. What may surprise you about their outreach is Sharon and her associate pastor, Jude, are living in the church warehouse because their homes are also casualties of Sandy. I asked Jude, as a victim, why volunteer for others?
I see this as an opportunity. I've not earned anything. God has blessed me with everything I've had.
With his materials gone, Jude is working around the clock to get supplies out of the warehouse and in the hands of flood victims. You'll notice a number of boxes at Hope NYC have God's Pit Crew written on the side of them. This is one of 2 drop-off points in New York City for the Danville nonprofit.
We love God's Pit Crew. We love those guys. We're overwhelmed by the generosity of people to just send stuff off to us in New York, because New York is a rough city. And they saw love, they saw a purpose here, and we appreciate it.
It's so gratifying to know that people trust us with their resources, because that's how we look at it. That's how I look at it, is that you trust me to do the right thing. Yeah. And I promise I'm trying to do the right thing as best as we can.
When you see donations from Virginia handed out to those who are so desperate for help, you know it is the right thing. Thank you. Pastor Sharon says it was divine intervention that the plans to remodel this warehouse into a traditional sanctuary never panned out for the church. But she didn't realize it until the first donations were dropped off last week.
We all were crying because the bay doors opened and the truck backed right into what is our church. And if this was a sanctuary, it couldn't happen like that. So it's God that it's still a warehouse.
A warehouse Virginia is helping to fill. And if you donated to God's Pit Crew, I want to tell you that your donations are in good hands.